So after a long and hard day at work, I can finally sit down and watch some Formula 1. And for the first time this year in 2022, it is going to be a live race reaction to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, due to the way that I work, I can't react every single race to all of the Grand Prix as I do work weekends, but sometimes when they're on awkward times for us here in the UK, I will be able to get a live reaction in. Now, if you guys have entered into the Audience Prediction Championships, don't worry, those results will come at the end of this video. But let us get started with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix reaction. Oh wait, we're only going to have a Grand Prix with 18 people. Yuki Tsunoda isn't starting. I'm not 100% sure why, I have only just turned this on. Potentially some more engine issues for Red Bull powertrains. But yeah, we're only going to have 18 people starting a Grand Prix. That's one of the lowest, maybe even ever, in Formula 1. Potentially. Okie dokie, here we go. Here's the 3 lights. 4 lights. 5. Can Sergio Perez lead away from pole position? Bit of a squeaky start, but so far so good. The 2 Ferraris, very close. Verstappen up the inside of Carlos Sainz. Not quite. No contact, but Verstappen I think is ahead. Verstappen is sort of ahead of the Ferrari. Verstappen is now clear of Carlos Sainz. He is now up into P3. But so far, actually, incidentless. Well, I mean, we're only half a lap into a 50-lap Grand Prix, but incidentless. Oh, George Russell on Esteban Ocon for P5. We literally just cut to that. We were on board with Lewis Hamilton, and then we leapt on board with George Russell as he gets past the pink Alpine, which I keep wanting to call a racing point, but it is not. He is through, and he also gets DRS as well. That's a cheeky manoeuvre there from George Russell, but up into P5 for the young Brit, as Alonso gets ahead of there's lots of cars overtaking. There's lots of cars taking. So McLaren cuts the corner, and so I'm fairly sure I muddled up my words. Oh, the 2 Alpines! That was so close. Fernando Alonso with Esteban Ocon. Oh, that was close. Otmar Schaffner shaking his head. That was so close from the 2 Alpines. Okay, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, round number 2, as I realise I'm holding up my deck of cards, but Alonso round to the outside. A nice not move. He didn't get it done. Interesting. I thought he was going to get that quite easily done with the DRS, but he has not. Back for round number 2, up to turn, like, I don't know the turns of Saudi Arabia, but he is still behind. Alonso is still behind Ocon. Oh, here we go. We've got a nice 3-way battle. We've got a 4-way battle even. We've got the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas, the 2 Alpines once again down into turn 1. Oh, we've got Kevin Magnussen joining the fight as well. This is so uber close. This is what we want to see. These cars have been nose to tail for like 4 laps, and it has been incredible. We've got them weaving everywhere. Oh, they are still line astern. Oh, no, team orders. Damn. Team orders have just been introduced now at Alpine. Esteban Ocon being told to hold position as Valtteri Bottas comes down the main straight with DRS. Valtteri Bottas alongside and past. Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo gets past Esteban Ocon in the Alpine, who is told to hold position against Alonso. Oh, we've got some pit stops. We have some pit stops. We've got, I think it's going to be the top 2. It is not the top 2. Sergio Perez comes in, but Charles Leclerc stays out. That's interesting because all the radio chatter was coming from the Ferrari. All the radio chatter was coming from Ferrari to box to box to box, and Sergio Perez comes in and Ferrari stay out. Oh, we have a yellow flag, sector 3. Yellow flag, sector 3. Has anybody crashed? Yes, they have. Nicholas Latifi. Nicholas Latifi is in the wall. That's safety car. Oh, that's a lot of debris. That's a big front wing there. Okay, Marshall on the track. Still no safety car. Still no safety car, and there is a marshal on the track. Virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. This is going to play into the hands of Leclerc. This may have just screwed over Sergio Perez, actually, because he came in just before this virtual safety car. That's going to be really painful. Oh, Sergio Perez has lost out so much. Oh, Sergio Perez is down in... He's down in P3. I just had to look at the leaderboard then. He's down in P3. He's lost out to Leclerc and Verstappen. Very nearly lost out to Sainz as well. That's heartbreaking. Oh, we've got Kevin Magnussen versus Lewis Hamilton. As they come down the main straight, Hamilton has his DRS, but we know the Mercedes struggles in a straight line. He's not got it. He's just far too far back. But I still think he's going to make the lunge down the inside from Lewis Hamilton into turn 1 on Kevin Magnussen, and he is through up into P6 for Lewis Hamilton from P16 on the grid. Admittedly, Hamilton and Magnussen actually haven't stopped yet compared to everybody else who has. Oh, shoot. I've been asleep. And Alonso is retiring. I have legitimately fallen asleep watching a Grand Prix. And yes, Alonso has retired. I have no idea where we're up to. I think we're on lap 37 of 50. And I don't know if I've missed anything. Oh, we've got a McLaren going slowly too. Daniel Ricciardo's going slowly. Oh no. Oh, what a disaster. What a good time to wake up as well. What a disaster. I'll probably have to put some sped up bits of me asleep. But Daniel Ricciardo has come to a stop in the middle of the pit entrance. Oh, that's heartbreaking for McLaren. That might just be a safety car because he stopped right at the pit entry. That might just be a safety car. Valtteri Bottas is retiring. What is going on? Valtteri Bottas is just in the pits retiring. My brain. My just woken up brain can't cope. Okie doke, virtual safety car is ending, but the pit lane is still closed. We are green flag, pit lane entry is still closed, so the only person not to pit in this race is Hamilton, and now he's going to lose out massively. It's team radio coming in as soon as pit lane entry is open, but they're going to lose out so much because now everyone's back to racing. Where is he now? He's got a 9-second advantage over Ocon as the pit lane entry opens. He's going to lose 20 seconds. He's going to drop to about P9 sort of phase. So he's still within the points, but he's going to lose out quite a lot. That's really unfortunate. Here we go, Verstappen on Leclerc. Well, that's it. The move's done. The move was done even before the exit of the corner. That was ridiculous as Verstappen gets a snap of oversteer on the final corner. But Charles Leclerc has DRS down into turn 1. He's going to fight back against Max Verstappen, who has the lead. Charles Leclerc is back in front, but who's going to outbrake them into turn number 1? It's Leclerc who retakes the lead of the Grand Prix, of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. This is bonkers stuff. Leclerc is back in front. This is Bahrain all over again. Oh, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Oh my god, as they both lock up going into the final hairpin. They almost touch. They almost touch, playing games to get the DRS. Who actually got it? I have no idea. It was Verstappen, but his advantage is gone as they both lock up so heavily going into that final corner. We've got 6 laps left of this Grand Prix. Oh, that was so close. Here we go, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc once again. I can't remember I don't know what corner we're up to. I think this is the final hairpin. It's Max Verstappen who's going to get the DRS, but he is right on Leclerc's tail. This is going to be it. DRS open for Max Verstappen, and he flies past Charles Leclerc. That is it. Verstappen is back into the lead. And he turns... that's it. Verstappen has the lead. Leclerc has nothing. Leclerc cuts the corner, but he has nothing to come back with Max Verstappen. Can Leclerc get this back in the next couple of laps? Oh, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1 as we're on board with Charles Leclerc. Visor cam against Max Verstappen. DRS for Charles Leclerc. Green flag in Sector 1. Yellow flag in Sector 1. What is going on? As Leclerc powers down the main straight against Max Verstappen, but they're going to have to start slowing down because there's yellow flags. Green flag once again. We're on lap 49 of 50. What is up with these yellow flags? We've got Lance Stroll sparking, moving slowly. Lance Stroll is now last. He definitely wasn't last just recently. He was battling with Lewis Hamilton for P10. Something is... Oh, we've got a Williams moving slowly. We've got Alex Albon going slowly as well as he pulls off the circuit. Have they collided? Have Alex Albon and Lance Stroll collided? We've got another yellow flag as we have a replay with the Aston Martin and the Williams. They touch. Oh, big damage for the Williams. Puncture for Alex Albon. That was an aggressive dive bomb from Alex Albon that did not pay off. Huge damage to the Williams. And here we go, into the final corner. It's going to be Max Verstappen who claims this victory. Leclerc just doesn't quite have enough. The gap is 0.6 of a second. The checkered flag is waved for Verstappen, who takes his first victory of the season. Leclerc in P2 and Sainz comes home in P3 with Perez, our race leader, who looked so dominant for the first 17 or 18 laps until that safety car comes home in P4. George Russell and Mercedes, a distant fifth, but they are comfortably the third fastest car, as then there is still a 20-second gap between Russell and Ocon, as we have, I believe, Lewis Hamilton down in P10, Magnussen scoring points for 2 races in a row for Haas. We've got Norris in P7. That is awesome for McLaren. What a Grand Prix, and what a year this is going to be. We have some incredible racing, actual on-track racing. The cars are so able to follow closely as we are on board with... Oh, Norris and Ocon to the line. A drag race. It is Esteban Ocon just who gets P6 from Lando Norris. That was incredible on the line just there. But this year we can follow. We can race. It is insane and I am all for it. But Max Verstappen takes the victory for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. That was very, very good. That was so good. Much, much better than the race that we saw last year that was just bonkers. But there we go, that is my live reaction to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, all done and dusted. I am now going to actually properly go to sleep, as I somehow fell asleep for like a couple of laps during that Grand Prix, which is just ridiculous. I will total up in the morning the audience prediction scores, and I'll be back in just a little moment's time for you guys to give the results. It is now the morning after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and it is now time to go over the audience prediction championship scores. A huge congratulations is in order for Joshua ZA, who scored 44 points this weekend, having used one of their boosts to double their score. Now remember, you only get 5 boosts for this year, and he now has 4 left. With Fee coming in second with 38, then Elian and Evan Darcy and WR all joint on 36, also using one of their 5 boosts. We have to get to Dan Beaver and Tom Sayer, who both scored 20, who didn't use one of their boosts. So we do have a huge amount of field spread, with Joshua ZA scoring 44, and then we have Cadrino down in P54 scoring 5 points. And we have to go all the way to the position 31 to 40 table to find myself, who also didn't use a boost, but only scored 11. So definitely for a few of us, we've got to buck up our prediction scores and our prediction game, as it really wasn't a good weekend at Saudi Arabia. But taking a look at the most accurate qualifying performance, that goes to Elita M, getting Leclerc and Sainz in the right order, and then Verstappen and Perez just in the wrong order a little bit, having predicted Bottas to come P5 in qualifying. But a big congratulations once again goes to Donaldinho for being the most accurate race for the second weekend in a row, getting the top 4 spot on, only having Hamilton in P5. And they equally end up with the most accurate weekend score, with exactly the same predictions apart from the P5 man as Elita M. Now we also had a few correct bold statements, with a couple of low risk ones saying there will be a safety car and Magnussen gets into Q3. Those have scored 2 points for their respective entrants. And interestingly, none of the high-risk statements actually came true, so nobody scored an extra 10 bonus points. We did have an awful lot of statements that related to the number of DNFs. At least 1, there will be 5 or more retirements, 5 DNFs, 3 cars will crash across the whole weekend. And then 2 actually relating to the Red Bull powertrained cars, in relation to them also retiring. So we did have a wide mix of these bold statements, but only the medium and low risk ones actually came true for this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But if we are to total up all of the season's entrants so far, it looks a little something like this. We've got Joshua ZA leading the way on 62 points with an average score of 31 across the 2 entries that they have made, closely followed by defending champion Evan Darcy and Fee with Elian on 52. There's then a bit of a gap down to WR and Vexento as well, with Jess 392 and Zinka joint on 38. And again, we've got to scroll a little further down into this table to positions 21 to 30 to find myself on 28 points. And then as well, we just have a couple of people in the position 61 to 70, but I couldn't quite fit it all onto one page, so Ricky Bobby, Go For The Gap, and Cadrino are all in position 61 to 70. Now again, if you guys haven't entered into every single one of these, make sure to keep a track of that average points column, as that averages out all of your points across the entries that you have made, so you can compare yourself against the people like myself and also Joshua ZA who do enter into each of these rounds. And then also make sure that there are the number of boosts left. So just because Joshua ZA and Evan Darcy are leading the way at the moment, they have used one of their 5 boosts, so there is that chance for you to catch up with the boost opportunities. And remember, if you want to get involved in the Audience Prediction Championships, catch my videos that drop on the Wednesday or the Thursday before a Grand Prix weekend, where I predict the action for that Grand Prix. And that is going to do it for this live race reaction and audience prediction roundup for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I'll be recording my data analysis later today on Monday, hopefully to release on Tuesday. Now, if you like this video or any others that you find on my channel, there is the option to financially support me in my content creation journey. You could become a member of the YouTube channel by hitting the blue join button next to the red subscribe button. By doing this, you'll gain access to exclusive badges and also emojis that you can use in the comments below. Or if you would like to gain access to videos early before they release here on YouTube, there is an opportunity to support me over on Patreon. There is a link to that in the description down below. And then finally, there is a PayPal donation link as well if the subscription options aren't for you. And any financial support will receive a shout out at the end of this video, and a big thanks goes to Elliot Crosson for their continued support over on Patreon. But that is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next episode with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.